Hello everyone. Hello everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are joining in from. So welcome to today's live session. Our wholesome conversation will be ending this week. It has been going on for 2 weeks now, and will be ending this week. That's next tomorrow on Sunday. So today's conversation is one that I really would love a lot of us to get deeply connected to. You see, the conversation before us is alignment versus activities, a call to alignment. Alignment versus activities, a call to alignment. So, if if today is your first time you are joining us, my name is Peace Promise, and I'm an emotional wellness coach. My passion is to see people heal and they grow from having this low self-esteem, struggling with character, emotional challenges. I really want to see people heal from all those, and that was what fueled this passion that I'm currently into. Apart from an emotional wellness coach, I'm also a graduate of the University of Benin. I studied animal science. I'm also a singer. Yes, I'm a singer. I'm a Christian, and I'm also a, a teacher. Yes, I'll say a teacher, a mentor. I mentor young people and people seeking clarity, not just emotionally now, but also spiritually. So today we'll be having a very interesting conversation before us. Activities versus alignment. Activities versus alignment. You see, when people talk about activities, what comes to their mind is they are living in purpose. They are doing something productive already just because they are always busy here and there. Now, the reason for today's conversation is to create that balance, is to create that difference that, okay, that you are always busy does not mean that you are aligned with purpose. Yes, that you're always busy does not mean that you are aligned with purpose. So today I'll be putting a difference between activities and alignment. Why a lot of persons seem as if they are busy, but they don't really find this fulfillment. So I don't want to go ahead of myself. Let me start by defining what activities are. So activities are those things that we get ourselves involved with. It could be things that maybe we are to take a specific action as a group or individually to achieve a goal. It could be part of a routine or for just personal satisfaction. We have different things that can qualify as activities. We have the our jobs, we have ministry, we have home chores, we have businesses that a lot of us were involved in, and we also have, let's say, coming online to post. Yes, some people can count that as being busy. Some people can count that as activities. Now, something about activities is that you always have something you are doing does not automatically mean that you are actually living in purpose. I'll take that again. That you have something you are doing does not automatically translate to mean that what you are doing is you actually living in purpose. Now, what I'll define next is alignment. What's alignment? Alignment is when everything you are doing agrees with what God has proposed for you, what God has destined for you originally. So everything you do, everything you get involved with is in line with what God has in store for you. Now, that's alignment. Now, people use activities to to escape from a lot of things. Yes, that's why I'm keen about activities versus alignment. Alignment versus activities rather, that not everything you are doing as an activity means that you are aligned with your purpose. You see, when God created us, He created every man with a purpose. So nobody is on earth by mistake. We are not going to get here before God will start thinking about why did He create A or B. Before He created you, He already has a purpose for you. Yes. And that purpose, if you are not working actively in your purpose, one thing that could happen is that you will not find fulfillment. You will not find fulfillment. So you see a lot of persons that are busy, and they kind of think that being busy will equal to finding peace, finding relevance, but they are not still getting what they are looking for. Now, something about alignment is that alignment gives you peace, not fake peace or false peace, or the kind of peace that people who have so grown and they have systems around them that keep things in place, they already have systems to ensure that everywhere is peaceful. So even when they are busy doing the wrong things that are not in alignment with their purpose and destiny, because they have systems that have been set around them to give peace, they cannot actively tell that what they are calling peace is just a function or as a result of the systems they have set, that that is not real peace. Alignment gives real peace, real fulfillment. Now, let's continue this conversation. How can people use these activities? How can people use these activities negatively? You see, a lot of people can say, oh, I'm aligned to this, and what I'm doing is my purpose, this is my passion. But in the real sense, they are using these activities to escape from something bigger. For example, they're using to escape from pain. That's how they use these activities to escape from things. They use to escape from pain. They use it to avoid silence, to feel important, to gain validation, and to look productive in quotes. So these people, they do these things with the hope that being active will translate automatically to being relevant. So for example, now they say that, oh, everybody is starting up one thing or the other, and they've not really found their purpose, but because they see that A or B is doing this and it's as if it's giving them a kind of relevance, they also want to get involved with such things. And getting involved with such things does not automatically mean that you're aligned. That's the truth. Now, some people use activities to also avoid silence. Maybe they've been going through a lot of stuff and excuse me, and instead of them to sit with themselves to actually look at their life and examine it, they say, no, let me just get busy. Maybe while I'm busy, I will escape that noise or the voice that is constantly coming to my mind telling me that I need to sit back and examine my life. So people do a lot of things like activities that you can call, oh, they are doing some serious activities, and we can say, oh, they are serious. But in the real sense, they are just using it to cover up for something they are originally supposed to do. Now, like I always tell you, I have my notes here so that I can keep the time. Now, the next topic we'll be talking here is since you are living in activities more than alignment. A lot of people, this is why I need you to really listen to me. A lot of people think that once you are making progress in a particular field, even if it is the wrong field, as long as you are making progress, you are aligned. No, that's not alignment. As long as what you are doing is not in line, does not agree with what God originally wants from you, you can be making progress in it. but you cannot say that you are truly aligned. And that's the truth. So, signs you are living more in activities than alignment. Number one, you are constantly busy without real progress. Yes, you find yourself doing different things, organizing programs, picnics, hangouts, um, outreaches, but you see that you are not really making progress. Now, something about progress cannot only be tracked by your financial status. Let me quickly clarify this. So, yes, you can say, oh, you are doing well financially when you're making some money, but we cannot sum up your life to only financial progress when we see that you're making some waves financially. No. There are other aspects of your life that we look at to conclude that you as a person, you are making progress. So, some people are always occupied, but you are rarely fulfilled. It shows that you are living more in activities than alignment. So you went for an outreach, you've gone to this outreach, prison outreach, school outreach, guest outreach, but this fulfillment is not there. It shows that you're living in activities, not alignment. Then also, you're constantly moving without arriving at a valuable goal, a true goal that you can say this is valuable. You are constantly on the go. You are always doing something. You are organizing one program every month, every week. Something is happening with you, around you, your brand, and people can say, oh, this person is always active. But no particular valuable goal you can say that you have achieved from your constant movement. You have to check it. It could be that you are living in activities and not alignment. Then you have to ask yourself this question. What is all this activity producing in my life? Yes, ask yourself that question. Am I building intentionally or merely surviving daily? I don't want people to say that, oh, I'm not doing something, so that's why I'm doing these things. Is this what I'm really going to be using my life to do? Or what's happening? What am I really doing? What's all these things amounting to in my life? You have to sit down with yourself and ask yourself these questions. Then next, how to know that you're living more in activities over alignment is that you feel drained by everything. And that's because you are committing yourself to a misaligned work, You see, not everything you do, like I said earlier, that you are getting active and busy with, not everything you do is actually connected to your purpose as an individual. And when you are living like that, you cannot say that you will find fulfillment in that kind of thing you are doing. So if everything you do, you are not living from purpose, you are doing a work that God has not assigned to you will feel drained. You feel drained. And also, you keep ignoring warning signs. This is because you don't want to sit with reality or you don't want to sit in silence. You see, a lot of persons do these things a lot. Something tells you, your spirit tells you, or you say your mind is telling you that what you are doing is not really aligned. Why don't you take out time to just sit back and check, am I really living according to purpose, to destiny, or I'm just doing this thing because this is what I see people doing? So because a lot of us don't want to sit down with that silence, we keep running and we keep avoiding the warning signs we are getting. That is a sign that you are living from activities and not alignment. When you cannot sit in silence, when you cannot sit with yourself to do a check, even when you feel like something is off, I think this work I'm always doing, it could even be ministry. You don't have to sit down and say, no, 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 let me just keep pursuing. And on the last day, God will, you just use some scriptural talks to encourage yourself, and you keep on doing something that you're already getting signs that You need to pause. You need to go for a retreat. You need to re-examine this your passion that you are following. You see, when you cannot sit down and take out time to reflect, you are always on the go, you're afraid to sit in silence, then that could be a sign that you're living from activities and not alignment. Then also, outward fulfillment but inner emptiness. So you have all the likes, the followers, the shares, you have the visibility, you have influence, you have everything put in place, but you still feel this emptiness within you. It's a sign that you're not living from alignment. You see that, okay, peace is now singing, you start singing. Peace is now acting movies. You want to start. You feel that's the next step to do. And you have put yourself into something because you saw peace is doing it. And now you just discover that you have the likes, you have the shares, you have the visibility, but you don't have peace. Okay, you don't have fulfillment, no satisfaction inwardly. You feel as if you are you are living a life that is not true. Check it. You could be living in activities more than alignment. Then also, how to know you are living in activities more than alignment? You are living to please people. If at any time in your life you are always on the go because of what do they say, how would they look at me when they see that I'm no longer into ministry, or I'm no longer posting online about business, content creation, or what would they say when I'm no longer posting about emotional wellness? So you are living to please people. Check it. You could be living in activities over alignment. And something about living to please people is that when you are supposed to transition, because you feel that people have known you, so people have tied this knowledge about you to a particular aspect or area of life, you may be sensing that you should transition, but because of the knowledge people already have of you, you are afraid to transition. So you keep on living in activities that do not serve you. You keep on living in activities that are draining you instead of moving towards alignment, moving towards your purpose, or moving towards what you really find fulfillment doing. Now, these are the things that tells you that, oh, you're living activities. You should go through them, and anyone resonates with you, instead of jumping out of it and saying, maybe that's me. Okay, I'm living to please people. You just move ahead. No, you sit with it. I think this point resonates with me. I write it down. How am I living like this? How does this point really deeply resonate with me? You also write it down. After writing it down, you take out time to examine, following the steps I'll be giving in the next as we go on rather. So you take out time, you examine these things, and you find how to disengage yourself from it. Because if you keep on living from activities instead of living from alignment, over time you get exhausted. That's when you start hearing things like, oh, this person committed suicide, this person left the space, maybe just went out, went to bury his head, this person is depressed, this person is going through one thing or the other, this world is wicked. No, you could not bear it any longer, so you are exhausted, worn out. So before you get to that point, why not just take out time? If you've been following the live session, you remember there were times in some of the conversation where I said you should have personal time off at least once every week. Yes, especially in this time and age where every day you interact with the social media and the world at large through social media and the internet. You consume a lot of things. You should have your personal time off. It's not every day in a week you'll be online. You should have your personal time off. So I don't want to go into that. We talk about that already. Now, what causes this misalignment? After I've told you about the signs that, oh, if you see yourself doing this or that, it means you are living from activities and not really alignment. So now, what causes a lot of people to be misaligned? Number one, fear. fear of starting over again, fear of being misunderstood, fear of losing people, fear of failing, fear of disappointing people. So people choose to continue with things, people, and places that no longer align with them because of fear. So let me share this story with you. I was working in a place and everything was not so good, but it was manageable. And this person was trying to kind of make us feel, because it was not just me, myself and other staffs that were there as core members, was trying to give us this feeling like we you can't really do without him. So you have to commit yourself to whatsoever he's doing to you, even if you know that, oh, I'm not so convenient, I'm not so comfortable. So you have to just be there. Now, the people I met there, I noticed that even if they were backbiting and talking behind, they were afraid in real sense. You see that where you are no longer serves you. Where you are, it's more like you are just forcing yourself to do something that you know that I'm not really convenient doing this. So they were afraid to move. When I got there, I said that everything was not really going the way I love to see my life go. I'm like, no, I can't continue here. I can't continue here. While teaching, one thing I really loved to do was to teach on the assembly ground, like preach to the students. And also, apart from my time of teaching, I counsel students going through challenges, maybe emotionally, academically, especially. You just see that, oh, my classmates do better than me. I don't know why I'm struggling. So I really love to have those times with them. So I saw that it was not really a welcome thing in the school environment. And I told myself, I can't stay here. Now, that will make me to start looking for a new place of primary assignment, a new place to work. People will talk. I'll lose relationship I have with people. I'll have to start all over again. That stress. I thought about it and I said, let me just stay at first. But later on, I started making my move and I was removed from that place. So what I was afraid of came to pass. But the good news was that I found a better place where I could counsel students, I could talk to the students. I was given a free will to do what I wanted to do to impact lives. Even when I was celebrating my birthday, I gathered the students in the whole school. I talked to them and I shared something little for them, like snacks. Now, if I were bound to this fear that I had earlier and I stayed where I was before, I would have made my move. Even recently, I left my place of work because it was not in alignment with my purpose. This was not what I wanted to do. Imagine staying in an environment where the very thing, okay, you say now that you love teaching, or you say you love singing and you are working in a studio, or you say you are a medical doctor, you are working in an hospital, and you are not expressing this passion that has been given to you by God. As a medical doctor, you are even coerced to be strict, to be kind of cold towards people. And you know that this is something I'm passionate about. You know that this is something that I would really love to go all out for. But this environment I'm in is not really allowing me to do these things. So instead of you to stay there and be bound by activities, maybe you're always going out, you're always doing outreaches, but you know that I'm not getting fulfillment. Why are you afraid of starting over again? Or being misunderstood or losing people? Live there. Yes, me, I'm a big advocate of telling people to leave a place that no longer serves you, especially when it is now contrasting with your purpose. Live there now, because you may still have to leave later, and living later, you may have to live in a very like conflicting manner. So now that everywhere is still looking calm and peaceful, just exit with grace. Now, what causes misalignment? Number two, lack of awareness. When you're not aware of your values, your priorities, your strength, your purpose, your emotional needs, You will live from activities instead of alignment. I knew my values. I knew my purpose. When I was serving, before I left at first place of primary assignment, like I shared, some things were not in alignment with my values, apart from even expressing myself and impacting lives. Personally, I'm not the kind of person that stay in an environment where people are you talk down on people. Yes, you talk down on your staffs. You see, your boss is talking down on you. If your boss is talking down on you and you have the emotional strength or fortitude to bear it, fine with you can continue. But I will not advise anyone to continue in such environment. It's not healthy. So that was not what was only my issue. Staffs were gossiping. Now, staffs that are gossiping, you cannot face this your boss. You are gossiping the boss. Me, you want to put me in the midst of this gossip. And when the boss comes during the day, you go gossip him, you gossip behind him. When the boss is now in front of you, you are afraid to speak. You are doing yes sir, yes ma, but you gossip the same person behind you. Apart from that, the lies, the deception, I thought to myself, I can't stay here. It does not align with my values. I know all workplace cannot have 100% perfection, especially in this part of the world where we are in. But the basic things that I stand for, the basic honesty, integrity, discipline, cannot be compromised. And I'll say, oh, because they are paying me so millions, I will risk my emotional health. I will throw away my values and stay there. So that's what causes misalignment for some of us. So if you don't even know your values, first of all, you don't even know what you prioritize, you don't even know your purpose. Any work that just come out of desperation, I'm going there, I'm putting my head into it. If you continue living like this, you will continue living for misalignment instead of living in alignment. You also continue living in activities. And something about activities, you usually get burnt out. You will not be fulfilled. You get discouraged. You get depressed. You get worn out. You get emotionally exhausted. I can go on and on. Calling a lot of things that will happen to you when you keep on living from activities. Now, especially ministers that have been serving in maybe churches, this one applies to you where you are afraid. You feel like if I leave now, what would they say? And maybe God has placed it in your heart that I need you to go to this place. I need to leave the country. But you feel no, if I leave the country and they say I'm looking for greener pastures, that is not God. And you know how God speaks to you, you know that this is God. But because of fear of what people will say, you are disobeying God. I usually tell people that God loves a person that is obedient, especially when you are obedient to him over what you feel a higher authority is saying. Example, so you are serving with someone and God has told you do something like this. The case of imagine Samuel and Saul and David. When God told Samuel that, oh, Saul has messed up, go anoint David. Normally, someone will say, no, I can't. Because who want to hear that you're still on the throne, I'm anointing another person? You want they should off my head. But Samuel took the risk of obeying God. Remember when I think Rehoboam now, Rehoboam and Jeroboam, the time of Solomon, when Solomon had already messed up, and God told the servant that you are going to become king. Oh. Yes, Jeroboam, you are going to become king. Even the way you are not a servant, you're not a son, rather, you're not a prince, nothing. But you are going to become king. When the time came for him to become king, even if he later messed up, he showed up. He did not say, I cannot do it. Oh, this is my what is it now? This is my Oga son. I cannot do it, Father. I just leave the 10 the 10 tribes you've given to me, let's just forfeit it. That's how a lot of us were living, and that's why we keep feeling unfulfilled. God has been telling you. Now, why I'm using biblical examples is because I'm giving ministerial example now. God has been telling some of you that, oh, Minister A, you have finished serving here. Go over to this place. Minister B, it is time to start up something. Minister C, it is time to relocate. Minister D, it is time to start up your own. But because you are loyal to a man, you choose to disobey God and keep your loyalty to a man. See, God will forever be pleased with people who can discern and know that, oh, I may have been loyal to this man, but at this point, God is calling me. This is a higher calling. I have to obey God. God loves such people who are not so submitted to a man that when God is speaking, you are not adamant. You're not saying no, it's not God. You are afraid. So you keep on living in misalignment, living in activities. You know that this thing I'm doing 10 years ago, God has told me to live here, but I'm afraid of what people will say. And you're still there. You're still there. I remember I told some people one time last year that if you don't obey God, God will not say, oh, because you were committed to this ministry and you disobeyed me, so I'm going to overlook it. No, he will still require that talent he gave you that he did not use. So even if you say, oh, I couldn't do this, Father, I'm sorry. On the judgment day, I say, God, I'm sorry. I was committed to this or that thing. That's why I could not do this one. You know, people will talk. When you leave this ministry, they'll start saying, why did you do this? You are a like that. So I didn't want people to talk. That's why I stayed there. God will not accept such excuses from you. You look like that servant who had one talent. You will look like that servant because you did not use your talent. Even if you say, "Oh, I did something else," what they gave you, you didn't use it. So throw away fear and step out from activities and step into alignment. Then next, trauma and emotional wounds. Once people are traumatized, one of the easiest way they try to hide trauma is through activities. They want to just get busy, busy, busy. That's why when people come in for session and after examining them, talking to them, I discover that, oh, this is I really want you to have time with yourself. Don't don't shy away from what happened to you using activities. At some point in time, I'll tell you, oh, you have to leave so thing you're doing. You have to give yourself time. And this is where most people they want to run away from silence, from reality, from reflection using activities. So this is another thing that causes misalignment. Another thing that causes misalignment and getting yourself involved in activities rather than alignment is comparison and social pressure. I wrote out some things here I said I want to read. Social media has made people to pursue careers they do not enjoy. I almost fell for this trap. So once people graduate from school and they already have passion towards something, God is already helping them, they are seeing making some headway. Because they see other people doing it, pressure from social media, they want to pursue such passion, e.g., graduate trainee programs. They want to work in a bank. They want to work with the big fours. They want to work in oil companies. They want to do their masters. And you know fully well that, oh, you studied, let's say, religion, or you studied philosophy by mistake. What you really wanted to do now, after you become more exposed and you're giving yourself to personal development, what you really wanted to do was to go into fashion or was to go into home economics, that's catering, cooking, baking. But because of pressure, you want to be online and also be wearing heels, walking to the bank and posting, saying, look at what I wore on Monday, Tuesday outfit, Wednesday outfit, Thursday's outfit. This is what I did. You will not start pursuing a career that you do not enjoy. Or some persons, because they say, oh, this person is a lawyer, I see how this person portrays themselves out there. And when they did their bar, the way they were posting people from Abuja Law School, I want to do something like that. And you go into a career you do not enjoy. Peer pressure puts you into activities instead of alignment. They cannot sustain. Lifestyle they cannot sustain. You see people now that I saw someone recently, and I know this lady, she's from a humble background. Let's just say humble background. And I saw the way she dressed. I saw the things she started using. The first thing that came to my mind is this lady is softly putting herself under pressure that she will not recognize it now, but she'll recognize it later. That's if she takes her time to sit with herself. As a lady, let me use the ladies as an example. You see that for you, you cannot afford this wristwatch, this touch screen wristwatch, this wristwatch that I don't have the name on my head right now. You cannot afford those wristwatches. You know that you cannot afford those those things they wear on their hands, the bangles now, or those beads, the one that they'll put your name on it, specially for you. You know you cannot afford these things. But because you want to portray yourself in a limelight and make people have this sense of knowing about you, that oh, this person could be something like this, you start living a life that you cannot sustain. And like that you get into activities instead of alignment. Relationship you are not ready for. So that you will say, oh, I'm taking, I have a man that take care of me, or I have a wife like this. You enter a relationship you are not ready for. Eh? Or some people they want take mentorship that you know that I cannot submit to. You know what it costs to be a mentee? But because you want to start posting, oh, I have a mentor, I have a this is my mentor, I'm with my papa, with my mama, with my godfather, my godmother, you put yourself under unnecessary pressure. These things I'm doing, they are stressing me out. Although I cannot stop because I need to belong, social pressure. Then visibility without substance. This is why a lot of persons, they are, will I say, these are the persons they have been trapped. Visibility without substance. So you want to go viral, and you know that after the virality, there's really nothing within. There's really nothing within. Why not take your time and be aligned to your purpose, to destiny? Why chase visibility? Some persons they organize programs, you know, that they don't have capacity for, not even financial capacity now, mental capacity. You don't have. You because you see that okay, this is what people now do that are popular. You organize picnics, you organize get-togethers, you organize outreaches. You start organizing things that you know that you don't have capacity for these things. Pressure. You start doing activities, going from school to school. You say you're doing outreach. You know this outreach is not impacting you, it's not impacting everybody, nothing, it's not strengthening you, you're not even getting better, you're getting worn out. What you really have passion for is fashion, or cooking, or maybe teaching people a skill, or crocheting. But because you want to do something that looks flashy and people will say, oh, this lady is also doing something like this, you start engaging in activities that do not serve you but they are draining you. They do not give you fulfillment, you don't find satisfaction from them, they are draining you. So look at all these things, look at all these things and examine yourself. So what is the cost of misalignment and getting into activities that do not serve you? One, it will cost you your peace, it will cost you your health, your identity, your joy, your focus, your emotional stability, genuine relationships. So let me use genuine relationships as an example. So if you were pursuing something online that You are just doing it out of trying to be active, not necessarily alignment. You get involved with the wrong people, and people that you're supposed to get involved with, they kind of neglected you because they feel that you no longer align with what they actually thought you had. You will lose what was meant for you because you are trying to copy what you see other people doing. Oh, you saw people now going online posting how they met a popular person. You know, when they take their camera, POV, I was here today. Nobody knows what I'm going through. This world is so this. Get ready with me. You see anything trending, you jump into such trends and jump on such trends. You get some relationships, but what was actually meant for you, tied to your purpose and your destiny, you lose out on those relationships. Then also it leads to burnout, like I said, confusion, frustration, resentment. Yes, you start resenting the people that aligned with their own purpose because you did not align with your purpose. So you might start getting jealous, getting angry, getting envious at people who stuck, who stayed rather with their purpose. And you have been jumping from pillar to post, doing what was not serving you because you feel, oh, I want to look busy. Now you look busy in the sight of people, but you are not feeling, you're not getting the fulfillment. And this other person that is just staying on their own lane, taking life one step at a time, going easy on life, with life rather. You see that they are finding fulfillment, they are not faking it like you. Now you'll be resenting them. That's what misalignment will cost you. And you have chronic dissatisfaction. I wrote it here. Chronic dissatisfaction because deep down you know that this is not the life I truly want. Yeah, this is not the life I truly want. You have chronic dissatisfaction. Imagine you are so much buried into what is not serving you. Tell me how you don't have chronic dissatisfaction. You just tell me. You will have chronic dissatisfaction. So to end today's conversation, I'll talk about how to return to alignment. How to return to alignment. I don't want to stay long here. Number one, reflect. Stop running away from silence. Stop trying to just be so busy and busy and busy. You know that I'm just busy. I'm not really getting fulfillment. Take out time to sit down and reflect. When you see that you have been so much involved with something and what you are involved with or involved in, you are not getting the satisfaction you think or you thought you would have gotten 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, 4 months, 5 months, 6 months, 1 year, 2 years. Years have started rolling by. No satisfaction. Why not sit down and reflect? Why do you enjoy running in the wrong direction? As long as you are running in the wrong direction, you will never arrive at the right destination. Write this somewhere. As long as you are running in the wrong direction, you will never arrive at the right destination. You can't be running towards the north and let's say when you get to the north, it's like when you are in a close, you take a bend into a street and you enter a close. You meet a house there. Then once you've gotten to the end of the road in a close, that's the end. So let's imagine you are running in the wrong direction. You are supposed to be going to the south. Now you are running in the wrong direction in the north. And in the at the end of the road, there's like a barrier that is set there with fence. When you get there, you are stuck. You can't fly, you can't jump. The only thing for you to do is to turn back. Why not sit down? Why not take our time every month? Do a self-examination. Am I getting fulfilled in what I'm doing? Is this what I really want to use my life to do? Is this what God has called me to do? What I'm doing, does this thing truly matters to me? How this thing is draining me? Am I doing what is no longer aligned with who God has called me to be? You see, this is one question I keep asking myself almost every time. And when people see that I no longer put in energy into what I was once committed to, most times it's because of this question. Am I putting energy into what no longer aligns with God's current state and how God views me? So let's say, let me use class now. I'm in nursery spiritually, and 2 years after, I'm currently in the higher institution. That I said spiritually does not apply in real life, does not work like that. And now I'm in the higher institution. God expects me to be somewhere with some set of people doing living life in a particular manner. But because I have not taken out time to reflect, to sit with myself, retreat and ask myself questions, and even check the progress I'm making, I keep living like I'm in nursery school. I keep talking like I'm in nursery school. I keep acting like I'm in nursery school. I keep moving with people that are in nursery school. I refuse to transition into the higher institution. What am I doing to myself? I'm living misaligned. That's what a lot of us we fail to do. We fail to sit with ourselves and ask ourselves questions like what I'm doing, does it align with who I'm becoming? Does it align with where God is taking me to? Does it even align with where I am currently in God? So if you don't even know where you are in God, you don't know where you are in God, you're not asking questions, you don't even become, you don't want to transition, you just want to please people, you just want to stay in a particular place and you know that this is not it anymore. Why not take out time to ask yourself these questions and realize, be honest with yourself. If you're in a place and you know that you are supposed to have transition out of this place, sorry about that. If you're in a place and you know that you're supposed to have transitioned out of this place, then transition. Transition. Don't be afraid of what people will say. People will always talk. Currently, anything you are doing, they will talk. If you don't do, they will talk. If you do, they will talk. So why are you afraid of what people will say? Make your move and follow God, obey God and make those moves. Then next, reevaluate your priorities. Maybe the priorities you are using are those priorities from the nursery and now you're in higher institution in your work with God, in your work in life and purpose and destiny. Reevaluate those priorities. Say, okay, then while growing up, I just wanted to be happy. But now I want my life to be impactful, not just happy. I want to be fulfilled, not just happy that I did something. You know, then people say, "Oh, I went for I'm so happy." Now it's not just about being happy. How many people are being impacted from what I'm doing? So once you come to that point, that's when you know that oh, I'm not just doing activities. I'm actually in alignment with what God wants. Early in the year, yes, the year is also not also fine. Some things happened and people were asking questions like, oh, please, what are you up to now? What are you going to do? What is happening next? And I was getting things like, you're supposed to have done something like this now. This was happening. But I was not getting that sign from God that that was what I'm supposed to do. Yes, Google must Google might have said that I'm a content creator, but there's also the part of I'm a Christian author, emotional wellness coach, a trauma coach. So no matter what I'm doing, I have to hear from God that do this. This is what people in my field, my niche, they are doing. But is this what you want me to do? Before I go and do something that I'm bigger than, or I'm not even up to that stage because I'm seeing people doing it, I go and do it and it does not work out well for me. Yes, I will learn, but I will learn the hard way. You grow according to your class. You evaluate your priorities, you evaluate your growth, you evaluate the stage you are now, and you know that okay, this is what I'm supposed to do, and you do it. You don't start trying to do everything because you see people are doing it. So you evaluate your priorities, your peace, your growth, you evaluate your work with God, your purpose, your values. Evaluate them. These are the things that will let you know that, oh, I'm not supposed to be doing this. I can't do this. No matter how it will make people feel like, oh, she's always on the go. She's always out there doing something new. This is getting it. This is doing this. But is this what God wants me to do? Does this align with my purpose, my values? And if it does not, I'm sorry. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it because personally, I'm someone who is big on alignment over activities. I can take my time to confirm, double check. Once I'm sure it's good, I put my all into it. I don't care what people are saying. Yeah, so I don't care what people are saying as long as it is God. Because you can never go wrong obeying God in love. Now, the fact that I don't care what people are saying does not mean that I'm going to trample on people's feelings, emotions, and just ridicule people. No, God does not act that way. Even when God is giving you instruction, you will see the love in God and his instructions. But me now sabotaging my destiny, my purpose in life, and choosing not to obey God because of what people are saying, I'm not that kind of person. I will evaluate my purpose, follow God, and obey God to the latter. Then next, set boundaries. All activities that do not align with your purpose, gracefully decline. You don't have to say yes to everything. Set boundaries. So if you are going to be watching this live session on Sunday, I'm making a very special announcement concerning boundaries. You already know what's coming. So set boundaries. Then finally, build a life that matches your values. When you're intentional about building a life that matches your values, you'll see that you will live from a place of alignment and not just activities. Yes, you live from a place of alignment and not just activities. So that will bring us to the end of our conversation for today. Our next live conversation will be on Sunday, and that will be a conversation to just wrap up everything I've been talking about. And I really don't want any one of us to miss our Sunday conversation because I'll be sharing very personal secrets, lessons I've learned from great men, great rooms. I'm really big on privacy, so you may not really see some of these things outside. If you're not close to me, you don't know where I'm going to, but I'm going to be sharing these things. You wonder why some people's life are going well and why yours is not going well, even if now I'm not talking about comparison, you can tell that something is really shifting about this person and nothing is shifting about my own life. This is because they've been in rooms, they've heard things, and these things are what I'm going to be sharing on Sunday. So on Sunday by 8 p.m., join me, clear your schedules, and let us have a very wholesome conversation. If you followed me to this point, please do it to like this video, share with your friends. You could also ask questions in the comment section or give suggestions on topics you want me to talk about. Or maybe I've talked about them, you're not just aware about them and where they are. So let me know your thoughts in the comments section. So that'll be all for tonight. Thank you for joining in live. I'm grateful, very, very grateful. So we'll see again on Sunday. Have a very good night or good evening. Bye for now.